Hey YouTube, what's going on? Ooh, I wanted to come on here and just tell you guys um, just a little bit about, why sometimes, I know me, I'm just talking about me, that I get really wrapped up in these cases with, ooh, that thing is on, with little kids because I'm 50 years old and I was an abused child. I was abused as a child, horribly abused, to where it affected me, growing up. I was making all kind of poor decisions. I mean, it just took me to a place that I didn't want to be in. And I know what happens when kids are abused and then, they're thrown out there to grow up without no help, without no counseling. They just, some of them end up on the street. I mean, some of them, because you're trying to leave your house. That's the main thing. Like, you're trying to get out of the situation, especially when you get, to be a teenager. And my thing was, when I was little, like, I wanted to go to the like, when I used to think all the time, like, we used to live by this military, it was like a recruitment um, place where we used to live, right? And I used to walk past it when I used to go to school. And I was like, I want to go to the military. I want to go to the military when I, reach of age to where I could go. And that's what I always wanted to do, is go to the military. And I didn't get to do that because things got so bad that the only thing I could think of to get out of the situation was to get pregnant, and then they would let me leave. They would let me go because I would be like a grown up, right? And it worked. It worked. But they let me leave, but they kept my kid, which was probably at that time okay because I wasn't ready to raise no kids. I was only, I had my first kid at 17. And the emancipation, yeah, I got emancipated. She was like, you want to be grown? You gonna get emancipated. I was like, good. I should have made the decision to go into the military, when I turned 18. But by me being in the streets, I got pregnant again. So that was a no-go. That was just a no-go. But I'm just saying this. Being a abused child, we go through a lot of shit, okay? Um, you need to realize, like, what you're doing to a child when, you're abusing them, because when they get older, the shit's gonna affect them. And then you have a family like, why isn't she doing this? Why isn't she doing that? Because of you guys. You weren't watching me, first of all. And second of all, I didn't have the um, support that I needed. I wasn't getting like the same support like my cousins were getting. Okay? Because in my house, shit was crazy. Shit was crazy. So yeah, I didn't do the same shit that my cousins did. Yeah, they might have went to school, went to college, and then went and got good jobs and all that shit. No, I was in the street. I was in the street. But the moral is to the story is forgiveness. Okay? I had to forgive a lot of people. I did. I had to forgive a lot of people. And I tried to get like answers. I thought, let me see if I could get some answers why this happened. No, fuck all that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. Don't go back and ask questions. They're all fucking liars. They cover up shit. They want to hide shit from people. And then when you start growing up and, getting into your own, then they want to talk shit about you. Like you're the bad seed. Like it was your fault. It's not your fault. You were a baby. You were a child. Nothing is your fault. These people are supposed to be watching over you. They're supposed to be, making sure that you're okay. Like Little Classic and Little Sincere. They're not old enough to take care of themselves. They're dependent on Jacqueline and Trezelle to take care of them. They're not old enough because if they were, they'd be hopping out of windows and shit like I was. When it get dark outside, I hop out the window and run off, and they have to come find me. Cause that's just your brain. That's this up here trying to save yourself. So it's difficult for kids that are abused. It's difficult. Some of us get on drugs. Some of us become, just we just do shit that we it shouldn't be done. When if you would have gave me a chance in the first place, I would have gone in a different path, right? So when I look at this story about Classic and Sincere, and I want to call them that because that's their birth name. Even though the mom lost them, look, this shit don't come with no instructions. Raising kids don't come with no instructions. And a lot of black women, we have kids at a young age. It doesn't come with any instructions, you guys. We don't know, you know. I mean, shit, we in our houses having a good time with our friends. Kids is there, weed is being smoked, drink is being drank. I mean, all we know, tell the kids to go in the fucking room. But this ain't right. You can't blame the bio mom because she lost the kids, okay? Because I believe her when she says that CPS, she finished all her classes, she did this and that. And I believe her when she says they went ahead and did some other shit, even though she did what she was supposed to do. And now this. Now we have this situation with these people. And I think CPS should be held accountable. I do. I think CPS should be held accountable because if I was listening to the bio mom correctly, um, the boys were with another family that she had, that she was getting along with, and they were letting her see the kids and stuff and seeing how they were doing. And what mom doesn't want to know how their kids are doing? And for you people that take kids from people and just X the mom out of the situation, that's not right. That is not right. So in my situation, what I had to do is I had to go in here, had to dig deep, because hell yeah, I'm dealing with a lot of shit. I PTSD. I was depressed. Shit was going on. I was making poor decisions, but I had to forgive. I did. I had to forgive these people, no matter what happened. I just had to forgive because I couldn't move on with my life. My life was stagnated. It was. It was stagnated. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't. I would start stuff without finishing it. I was stagnated until I forgave. I forgave. You have to forgive because if you don't, you can't move on with your life. It does something in here where you got hate and all this stuff built up in here, and it doesn't do anything good for you. And I know some things are hard to forgive, but just because you forgive don't mean that you forget. That's important too. I used to feel so sorry for my I used to have this guy that I used to go see where I had to, he was like my therapist. And I used to feel so bad for him because I used to tell him all this shit and then I used to leave. And then I leave out feeling good and I'd be like, I wonder what he's feeling. How does he feel with me leaving all this stuff with him? And then, I go on about my life. I was more worried about him than I was worried about me. And I used to ask him, like, what do you do to, release all your negative energy? Because I know I'm coming in here with my shit. And I had some shit. Okay? I told him some shit. This dude was way younger than me. He was a white guy. He was like 35 or something like that. I'm coming in there. I'm in my 40s, coming in there telling him all my shit. And he probably hasn't never came in contact with no shit like this. He was like, damn, you've been through some shit, huh? Yes, I have. And then people want to judge you and, say you're not this and that and whatever. Okay, well, whatever. Because I know I am. Because I love me. And what I do is pour, I pour a bunch of positive energy into myself. Like I take real good care of this and this. I've learned that through therapy. I've learned that. I take care of this right here. I guard that. I guard this. I do. So when I had to learn, when you get out of relationships, to take breaks. Take a break. Take care of yourself. Nurse yourself back to health because um, going through some shit in a relationship, I mean, that's a lot. So you got to take care of yourself. You have to put, energy and time and money into yourself and, to get yourself back on track. That's important. So, make a long story short, I just wanted to say this because I wanted you guys to know that I know what it feels like to be an abused child. And that's some fucked up shit. When you're in a house where you don't have no love and you are basically just stuck there. So you're trying to figure out, at a young age, like, how can I protect myself against these fucking predators? It is. Until this day, I don't talk to any of those people. I don't, because of this. I need to keep this sane. I don't need to keep going back and forth with people that don't have no feeling for me. And I had to learn that too. So I'm hoping and praying that we find these kids. We get to the bottom of this because this is not right.